a number of freshmen starting in the defense, midfield, and it's just a bit of a different mentality for both teams as we are underway here from the UCF soccer complex. As UCF has the ball, we'll go with the starting lineups for UCF. In the back line, you have Caleb Frankie, Andres Hernandez, Beto Yidrach, and Anderson Rosa with Yannick Odell in goal. Yoni Sorokin playing as that deep-lying midfielder as the ball goes out of play. And Andrew Lizanis and Mauricio Villalobos in the attacking mids with Ata Buberi, Lucas Dorado, and Gino Vivi up top. As USF throw the ball in, and it's head-weighted by Hernandez.
Austin, you said it best. Both of these teams coming in with different mindsets. The UCF Knights are trying to find their style of play. A lot of changes in the off-season. Now they want to pick up that intensity and find their pattern of play on the field. On USF, on the other hand, after that battering they got last week, I think they're trying to, that was a barometer game for them. The coach now is playing the youngsters, playing the freshmen, trying to give them experience to build towards seasons to come.
As we see Marcus Murphy with the ball for USF as he tries the long ball, intercepted by Caleb Frankie. Take a quick moment here to give you the USF starters. Enrique Gaina starting at right back, Marcus Murphy, Sal Mazzaferro, and Avion Flanagan rounding out the back line with Kazuna Takase in goal. In the midfield, two freshmen, Donovan Hesselmeyer and Brian Schaefer. Meanwhile, in front, playing as the number 10, Josue Monge. Then you have Oscar Resano, Victor Claudel, and Trey Jackson rounding out the front three for the Bulls. As here is Lucas Dorado, good touch over for Gino Vivi. Vivi takes the shot, parried away by Takase for the moment. Flanagan's going to shepherd that out of play, and a UCF throw. Early chance here for the Knights so far.
Well, that's the intensity they were talking about before. They broke with such speed, and to have Dorado as your point man, he's so good at the ball at his feet. He's going to create chances.
Take another quick look by Vivi. First early chance as Caleb Frankie now goes down. They're going to call a handball on the ground, and it'll go by way of the Bulls.
You know, you talk about Brian Schaefer, the freshman starting, the number 23 for USF Bulls. Such an imposing figure. He's going to get on the ball in a little bit. He's playing defensive midfield, 6'3" tall. He can probably dunk too as well, Austin.
It's a different game out there with soccer and basketball, but I don't doubt he can get up there. It's now one of the other freshman midfielders, Donovan Hesselmeyer, former Orlando City Academy product. Both of these kids freshmen. Talking to Coach Bob Butehorn earlier this week, he said those two are going to be ones to watch during this game. They have incredible talent, incredible upside. It's just a matter of getting them games at this point.
Yeah, the experience can sometimes be rough going up against opposition that's better than you, but no better way to learn than to play against players that are better than you.
This ball looking over top here, Trey Jackson. Holding up against Rosa. He'll pull it back. Here's Schaefer now. All the way back now for Gaina. And they'll reset through the back line. It's now with Mazzaferro over for Flanagan. USF coming into this game after a very rough last outing at home, playing SMU, one of the best teams in the country when it comes to college soccer. An unfortunate red card 10 minutes into the game kind of set things back a bit, and it resulted into Bob Butehorn's worst loss as a collegiate coach. And he wasn't afraid to talk about it. You know, he said, it's done, we move on, and that's all we have to do at this point.
Correct. I mean, it's one thing to play against the number 8 ranked team, but to play with 10 men, even tougher.
Sorokin with a slow diving challenge manages to get the ball for the moment. It's back for Brian Schaefer now as they reset. Quick turnover here, but Hesselmeyer steps in. Now played out wide. So Rosano looks to switch field. Ata Buberi gets a touch on it, but it's still with USF. Here's Gaina. Swung ball in. Bobbled a little, but caught eventually by Yannick Odell, and he quickly distributes for the counter.
USF is playing like a team with nothing to lose. They're playing with a lot of flow, a lot of confidence. These young players just letting it rip, as they would say. Just not thinking much about it, just reacting rather than getting caught up in the actual event.
As you saw an offensive opportunity, ball behind Andrew Lizanis there. Looks like UCF is trying to work themselves into the game. Meanwhile, USF trying to take advantage of that and maybe get an early goal. I mean, you look at the game that was played here last. You know, first 15 minutes, UCF went down, couldn't recover. I think maybe that might be the game plan for most teams coming into this environment.
Correct. And Coach Calabrese, he just harped on that in last week's practice before the Temple game, in starting off quickly, starting off with intensity, and trying to get the game in your favor rather than going uphill down a goal at the beginning.
One thing Coach Calabrese preached was starting the game with the right mentality. He said for that game they played up north in Temple, they had a great week of training. They were more concentrated, more focused. Just the effort of staying focused on the task at hand really helped them going into that game and coming out with a result. And now here, just a couple minutes in, you got to hope that they can right the ship a little bit and start dominating this game the way that UCF knows how to do.
Nothing like a cold glass of perspective after that Tulsa game in the opening match. Definitely brought some light to this UCF coaching staff and team.
Here's Lizanis now. Plays it back for Beto Idrach. Beto playing in place of the injured Giannis Learman, who's missing this game. Second game he has missed this season. Atabu Berry now into the attacking third. He'll play it back for Rosa. He'll load up the cross, but apparently offside on Berry early on in the attack.
Well, good high line by the Bulls, making sure that Dorado does not get behind them on a cheap cross. And looking at Rosa, he's probably so confident after that Temple game last week where he was part of that build-up for the goal where Gino Vivi scored the winner.
Been very impressed with Anderson Rosa throughout the first 3 games, this being the third. He's come in as a freshman coming out of Montverde, as you see him getting into the action now.
Oh, beautiful.
Again, sing his praises. He does exactly what what we talk about. He's just very confident on the ball. And for a freshman to be able to do that, to come into this environment and be not only confident on the ball, but to play both sides of the ball, both solid defensively and offensively. It's really good for UCF to have something reliable like that that can play both sides of the ball and can really help this team. As Lucas Dorado bodies off 2 defenders, now 3. He plays to thread a ball through for Gino Vivi, but it's just a touch away as Kazuna Takase handles the ball. Takase coming into this game having just played SMU and conceding 7 goals. You wonder for a goalkeeper if your confidence is a little bit shaken, but for USF, they don't have any other options. Takase is the only option right now. They don't have any other healthy goalkeepers. Their other goalkeeper that was supposed to come in for this season ended up not coming in due to COVID and ended up going pro instead. And then their other goalkeeper, who was meant to play, who played their first game, he went injured. So now Cooper Bly on the injury report, and Kazuna Takase is the man in goal for USF.
Austin, you were talking about goalkeepers' confidence. Well, confidence is everything in that position. And if I was a Knights player, anything in the last third, I'm going to let it fly early and often just to see how Takase actually reacts to the ball coming his way with pace.
Takase out of Tomoto, Japan, the 6-foot-tall goalkeeper. Played 2 games his freshman year. Played a lot for the Japanese youth teams, U16, U18. Captain for the J-League U16 team. A lot of experience for the goalkeeper, but the American game's still a bit new for him. Hasn't played a lot collegiately, so we will see how he handles coming off that loss to SMU to now play another top 25 team. As Anderson Rosa plays the ball through the middle. Dorado, heavy touch, but it seems to work out, at least for the moment, as it comes right back to Dorado.
I love how Dorado is coming back to help with the build-up. Something that what Coach Calabrese doesn't really want from his number 9. But it seems that in number 22, Dorado has that lure in him to come backwards and just get a hold of the ball, get some rhythm going.
You just see how deep USF is playing right now. Sometimes you just need to be able to pull the defenders wide as Atabu Berry swings that ball over to the opposite side, and Avion Flanagan able to handle it. As we talk about Flanagan, one of the veteran players for this team, there was a lot of questions when he was drafted in January by FC Cincinnati. Would he play? Would he not play? But he wanted to come back, play with his brothers for one last time, especially in this game. As the ball is into the box, headed away. It's Gaino with the last touch. Now for Trey Jackson.
Here's Gaina here, such a versatile Brazilian. He plays in front of the defense last year in that holding midfield role, now playing right back this year. What a plus it is to have the coaching staff to have that.
It's a hefty challenge as Sorokin taking out Brian Schaefer, who is just getting up gingerly, and it seems to be okay. The two bump fists, and we're all good to go.
One of those awkward bouncing balls, sort of a 50-50, and Sorokin came there last. And the freshman took the most of it in that tackle.
Caleb Frankie now on the far side, playing the 1-2. Gino Vivi, early cross, looking for Dorado. It's going to be intercepted. It's now pressure from the Knights. Good job by Lizanis, creating havoc in that back line for USF.
Well, with Perez signing that contract with the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, there's a chance for the freshman Lizanis just to come in here and really grow into that position in the center midfield role.
Anderson Rosa now trying to get a run on it. Get off for Trey Jackson. Speaking of Luis Perez, signed a pro contract with the USL Championships Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It's a hefty challenge there. Advantage played by the referee. Step over, and Sorokin involved in another challenge, this time with Josue Monge.
I love the trickery by Monge. His back was to the defender. He did a quick fan over the ball, just enough for the defender to commit. And as soon as he felt the contact, he went over. And he was being ushered out of bounds. And now he has a free kick in the last third of the field for his team.
It's 2 early fouls on Yoni Sorokin. Gotta watch himself, make sure he doesn't get carded early on. Again, one of the integral parts of this UCF offense, just his distribution of the ball. Speaking of distribution, great ball into the box, popped up in the air. Idrach bodied off, shot, and it's in. An early strike again as USF, thanks to Oscar Ressano, have taken the lead here against UCF.
Well, Austin, similarly like it was in the first game against Tulsa, this time it was a set piece with UCF go down a goal in the opening 15 minutes. A peach of a cross by Galina on the dead ball. It was a bit of a scramble, but Ressano calmly put it away in the end. Here it is again. Gaina, an excellent ball just over the penalty spot where you want it. The ball bubbles up. Nobody has command over it. Ressano calmly takes it down and puts it away just outside the 6-yard box. And the visitors with a shocking lead here.
Yeah, with Beto Idrach, not necessarily the most experienced backline player, just kind of misplayed that ball a little bit into the box. He tried to take it down with a touch. Instead, it bounced right over him and right to the feet of Ressano. And he was able to slot it past Yannick Odell. And now we see how the game will change for both teams. Obviously now UCF, shades of Tulsa in their last home game. Now they have to be on the front foot. And South Florida, they can really sit back and try and defend and try and counter as much as they can.
Well, Coach Buthorn talked about his disappointment against Temple at home in that opening game. They didn't manage the game well when they went in front. Now they have the lead against this UCF team. Let's see if they change their style or continue the same style of play.
W. Barry starting the attack with a great touchdown. Here he is again on the wing. Quick step over, right-footed pass. Gino Vivi, who's dipped into the midfield. Sorokin, great touch over for Hata Barry, who shoots it wide. Tried the one-touch volley with the left. Great ball by Sorokin over top, but those are hard balls to finish.
It's one of those plays where the coach gets off of his seat. Beautiful interchange. Gino Vivi coming inside, away from the right wing, and linking up with Barry. And in the end, in number 11, just couldn't get his foot on it.
Take another look. Just a beautiful chip ball by Yoni Sorokin. He looks like he's going to hit it hard, and then just a soft little chip over top. Just catches the defense napping a little bit. That's all you need sometimes.
And the vision was fantastic as well. Just so calm, the number 8 in that attacking third.
Meanwhile, USF, another chance as the ball rolls through. Rosa able to get to it. Some questions being asked here for the UCF defense. You know, USF's defense looking pretty strong so far. Talking to Bob Butehorn, the few mistakes that they have led to conceding goals for the other team, shall I say, have come basically from young mistakes on their part. You know, it's more just bad turnovers that USF have had in their final third or in the midfield that have led to opportunities for their opposition. So here's a long ball through. Barry on the doorstep. He's going to center it off for Dorado. He can't finish it, as there is a palm away. Kazuna Takase with a beautiful save. Still in the box here, off the post and out of play. Unbelievable sequence of events here for UCF, as just as we talk about little mistakes here, Atabu Barry just centers it off. Dorado blocked. Then Villalobos tries to chip it. Takase with the unbelievable acrobatic save. And then the near post shot by Gino Vivi off of the post and out of play.
Well, we see UCF beating that high line with that through ball on the wings. Best way to beat that high line is to come wide. And UCF do exactly that. Just a sequence of events, had a little bit of luck, excellent defense, and actually some pretty good shooting by UCF from Vivi and Villalobos. But again, good goalkeeping, good defending, and a little bit of luck to keep USF's lead right here in Central Florida.
And one thing I've noticed watching game film on South Florida is those counterattack opportunities. The defense just has a time of just not getting back quick enough and stopping those balls through the defense. And you saw with SMU a number of times in that game last week that they were able to capitalize on that defensive lapse a little bit and create a lot of chances. And so far, UCF has had their best chance coming from that. Now down the line here for Atabu Barry, again beating the defense. As great step in by Enrique Gaina, as he's able to dispossess Barry.
Well, great stuff by Gaina, like you said. Barry being dead left. Gaina was reading him left all the way.
Oh, and that's another foul on Yonis Sorokin as Josue Monge goes down, and that's going to be a yellow card, his third foul. But this results in a booking.
Yeah, Austin, I don't think it was the actual challenge itself. It's just that he was a repeat offender. It was third foul.
You do that right in front of the ref, it's going to be called 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, and if it was his first challenge, I don't think he would have gotten the yellow card, but being number 3, I think he put the referee in a tough position.
So one of UCF's best playmakers now sitting on a yellow. See how that affects the game as it goes, as Sorokin maybe lightens up a little bit on his challenges.
Well, this strange season continues. USF coming in here back against the wall, now playing with a bit of confidence, a little bit of a swagger. Taking
another
early
foul
lead
by Sorokin. As he goes through behind Avion Flanagan, and that's going to be a very lucky not second yellow, I would say. As Flanagan was ahead of Sorokin, and he came in and just clipped him from behind.
Well, Flanagan just so dangerous on that left-hand side, about to go to the pros.
Take another look at that one here.
Here comes Flanagan down that left-hand side. Sorokin chasing and just sticks his foot right in the mud.
I think Flanagan maybe just took a face plant. That's why he was holding his face, not necessarily the actual contact, but still, that was back-to-back fouls just after the yellow from Sorokin. He's really got to watch himself here going forward.
Well, they got a goal from the set piece in the last sequence.
So it will be Avion Flanagan to take the set piece. Like Ryan said, last time there was one of these from about the same distance. It resulted in a goal for the Bulls. We'll see how it turns out on this one, as Flanagan will loft the ball in with the left, headed away, this time by Idrach. Villalobos just knocks it right out. Actually, it stays in play. Marcus Murphy able to keep it in play as Dorado was chasing him down.
Well, good header by Idrach, getting it away. Just make sure the danger was cleared for UCF Knights.
Murphy again able to keep it in, gets it back to Takase. So the Bulls able to reset. Into the midfield now is Schaefer. Pressure coming now from Lizanis. And Takase able to clear it downfield. Flank goes up for offside. So UCF will get the ball back right around midfield. Anderson Rosa taking it quickly. trying to get things going for this UCF team. Odell now for Yidrach. Hernandez picks his head up, looking forward, directing traffic. Tries the long ball over for Dorado. It's going to be intercepted, falls kindly for Schaefer. And the Bulls have it back in their back line.
Well, Hernandez in number 4 for the UCF, such an excellent left foot. And with USF playing with this high line, he has that ability to put the ball over the top. Something to look at as the game continues.
Here's Marcus Murphy again, long ball over top, looking forward. Hernandez able to intercept, and that goes out of play off of Atabu Berry. So back for the Bulls once again at midfield. Throwing it in, Enrique Gaina. Taking it down now, Rosano, the goal scorer. Here's Schaefer. Good diagonal ball for Flanagan. Not much pressure coming from the Knights, kind of just inviting the ball forward as Flanagan will take that opportunity. Intercepted for the moment. And it's a great job by Caleb Frankie on the far side. Wins the ball back for the Knights. Sticking with it. Talking about Caleb Frankie, one of the very late transfers into this UCF program, but a veteran transfer, was able to play right off the bat despite transferring in very late. You know, Coach Calabrese was singing his praises when we talked to him yesterday. Just his ability to play anywhere on the field. He's played as a winger. He's played as a right back. He's played as a midfielder. He's just very versatile. And right now, considering that UCF is missing their normal starting right back, Lenny Sidolit, he's able to fill that void. As Atabu Berry into the box, it's popped away. Here's Rosa. Back for Berry. Top of the box now. Wait and turn. A few step-overs later, he'll get it back into the midfield for Sorokin. With a dangerous ball, steps in is Caleb Frankie. Frankie back with it. Can't get the shot off the first touch. And USF able to come away with it now.
Well, some good vision by Vivi playing that ball back across to Frankie. Just couldn't finish it. Good defending by the Bulls.
Again, it's good build-up. Just can't get that finish. It's a great ball in, just away from Victor Claudel. That ball from Trey Jackson just floated a little bit too far. But
I love how they switch the field. They switch the field back over to the right, and then that ball back over to the left, catching the defense, drifting too much on the inside, almost catching the Knights at the back post to take a 2-0 lead.
Here's Yidrach now. Very congested midfield here for both teams. Yidrach looking forward. Tries to play it down the line. Flanagan steps in, knocks it out for a throw. UCF will retain possession.
It's periods like this that you want Sorokin, the number 8, to get on the ball and really start to dictate the play for the Knights.
Frankie knocks that one right out of play, trying to keep it in. So back for USF it goes. So far, this USF team and their young core outplaying the veterans of UCF. Came in with a good game plan, struck early, and now are on the front foot. Great step through is Schaefer. Good speed from the big man. It's now counterattack here for the Bulls. Threaded through, Yidrach just able to step in and knock it out, but it will be a corner, first of the game for either team, for South Florida.
Well, Schaefer and his freshman counterparts are playing like seniors here tonight in UCF, as the Bulls seem to be bossing the play here in the early first 20 minutes. And with the sort of height they have with Galina, Schaefer is really going to, and Rosano, the goal scorer, it's going to give the Knights a lot of pressure here on this dead ball.
Short corner taken. Ball in by Gaina. Back post almost, as it had Yannick Odell diving for it, but looked like it was always going out of play.
Well, again, another teasing cross from the Bulls. This time back to the last post here, and Gaina, like you said, almost getting on the end of it.
Now UCF trying to make things happen through the midfield. Defenders closing in for USF as they'll just play it all the way back for Andres Hernandez. Now, Ryan, as you mentioned, those two midfielders, with Donovan Hesselmeyer and Brian Schaefer, both freshmen. Schaefer coming out of the Jacksonville Armada Academy, Hesselmeyer coming out of the Orlando City Academy where he played DA. Both kids have experience in development academies coming from MLS and MLS Next. As Dorado takes a shot, and it's right at Takase, who's able to cover it up.
Again, just the movement so quick through the middle, a little flick through to Dorado. And his number 22 shot went straight to the first post and well taken by Takase. We talked about his confidence at the beginning. That was well held. You know, Austin, just going back to your point with the academies, Coach Buthorn was talking about the accessibility of having the academies around them and making it easy for them to recruit. What a plus for the USF Bulls to take care of their own backyard and bring that young talent in.
Yeah, and it's such a benefit for both of these programs being so close to not only Orlando City, but with Inter Miami and Jacksonville United, all of these guys. Santa Buberry now threads through. Anderson Rosa able to do well. It's UCF.
Well, good wing play again by the Knights, but good defending by the Bulls as well. And Rosa, that deft left foot, just winning the corner for the Knights. And let's see if the Knights can pull some trickery out of their hat to try and tie up this score on this dead ball piece.
Gino Vivi, who will take first set piece for UCF of the game. Here's Vivi's ball into the box, looking far post. Takase, strong command to the box as he's able to grab the ball.
I don't think Vivi got the whip on it that he wanted. Maybe he was going against the wind. It sort of hung up there and it was pretty easy for Takase to handle.
Bit of an interesting day here in Florida as we talk about how it's snowing everywhere else in the country, and meanwhile here, oh no, we have sunshine all the time. But today it's a bit cooler. It's dipped into the 60s by now. Bit of a wind chill factor going on. You see some of the players wearing some long sleeves. Not used to this wind chill here in sunny Florida.
It's a brutal 60 right now. Austin, I don't know how we're going to get through this one.
Oh, it's a good thing we're inside. But you talk about the wind chill and just the wind factor. You know, when you have balls going up in the air, sometimes the wind carries it just a little bit. That's something that you'll have to keep in mind as the game goes on.
That's when short corners come into play.
It's ball back for Hernandez.
Look at the game management by the Bulls. All 11 players in their own half.
They can afford to do that now that they've got that 1-0 lead. Zata Buberry stepping in, steps
beautiful.
out. Berry making it down the line, whipping the ball in. It takes it down, it's into the box and just going wide. Again, the follow-up. And it's out of play. Gino Vivi right on the doorstep, can't finish it off.
That all starts with Barry with the fancy footwork down the left, getting behind that defensive line, putting the ball in the mixer, and his second ball back in again. Vivi just couldn't direct it on goal, but again, UCF asking the questions in the last third. 6 shots to 1 in the opening half. Just showing they are being the aggressor. But that one shot by South Florida being the only goal of the match so far.
Sometimes that one shot's all you need. Now Villalobos riding the challenge is Lizenes, or excuse me, it is Villalobos. And we will have a yellow card here.
So now both defensive midfielders on a yellow card.
I believe it was shown to Brian Schaefer, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll take another replay. Schaefer just battling Villalobos, and well, Villalobos was asking for the card, and he got what he asked for.
Well, the referee trying his best to play on, but once that whistle stops, there's only one conclusion, a yellow card.
Sometimes when players ask for it, they do the hand signal. The referee will be like, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
But this was pretty cut and dry for our referee tonight. Is now another free kick opportunity coming for UCF as Dorado is taken down about 30 yards away from goal.
Well, with no Perez in sight, it's going to be interesting to see what Gino Vivi does here. Like we talked about, Perez on his way to the Riverhounds in the USL. And the early MVP, here's the replay again.
Great little touch forward for Dorado.
And looks like
stepping in was Murphy.
This is first of the match.
So some aggressive defending by this USF Bulls team, trying to make their presence felt on the number 22, the Brazilian, winning a free kick.
So we got Villalobos, Vivi, and Hernandez over the ball. Stepping forward, Hernandez takes the shot right into the wall. UCF able to maintain possession with Rosa. Now ball chipped over top. Flanagan able to head it away. Here's Murphy, or Schaefer, excuse me. Flanagan able to touch it forward, but right back to UCF's midfield. Hernandez now with it. So both teams will reset. Sorokin now. That one's going to go out of play.
Just look at the pressure by the Bulls. Anytime a Knights player gets a hold of the ball, a green shirt is in their face. We talked about intensity before the game, and this Bulls team has stepped up.
Let's throw in here for Dorado, able to get into the attacking third. He'll play it back. Here's Vivi now. Circles backwards, swings it opposite. It's going to be touched down by Trey Jackson, but still with UCF. Threaded through now. Villalobos takes the shot, and that goes out of play. It will be a corner for UCF.
Well, with the movement in the last third of the field, it's going to be so hard for the Bulls to stay in front of the Knights. Winning yet another corner is Villalobos, trying to play it in early. And Galina just couldn't get on the end of it.
So Gino Vivi once again. So we've got a whistle here. Referee just says, knock it off, you two. Not sure who the two he was talking to. Well, Vivi into the box. Punched away by Takase. UCF still with it. Players still in the box.
I tell you what, Austin, Takase has put a great performance so far in the opening half.
Here's W. Berry now. Down the line here for Gino Vivi. Vivi steps in, just knocked out of play. Berry throws in. Very quick step over. Great defense there. It was Hesselmeyer who stepped in. And another freshman here for this Bulls side. As Rosa tries to play it through. A bit of congested traffic there. He's able to manage it and keep possession for UCF. Edrach now. Swung over top. Can't quite get to W. Berry. Lizanis steps in now. Can't win it back, but so does Anderson Rosa. His shorts are pulled, and that will be a foul and a yellow card. So Josue Monje goes into the books. That's 3 yellow cards, 2 for USF, 1 for UCF so far in this first half.
Well, it's another incident where the USF Bulls using their hands to slow down a Knights player. Here's Rosa pickpocketing Monje, and here comes the hands pulling his shorts right in front of the referee. And Monje asking the question, is that an extra large or a large?
So with 2 USF players into the books, we'll see if Bob Buthorn goes to his bench. Maybe just makes sure these guys don't get a second yellow in a very contentious affair. This ball on the far side battled between, I believe, Claudel, who ended up winning the ball back and winning a throw-in for USF. Ball quickly thrown in into midfield for Schaefer. Pressure coming from UCF, but USF able to manage it quite well. Still play it out through the back line. Here's Murphy again. Murphy has been very good just being able to distribute out of the back. He's been sending a lot of long balls forward, but you just saw there a second ago, he's able to find those pinpoint passes through the midfield. To have a center back that's able to do that is very invaluable.
It takes so much pressure off of the midfield when you're trying to move the ball through the field itself, having defenders that can play the ball to feet.
And that's when you miss a guy for UCF, especially in Yanis Learman, who was able to do that in the first game. But as Coach Calabrese was saying, he was not playing at 100% at the time. Giannagoto will boot this ball forward. Dorado trying to hold up play and does so well. Can he start the counterattack for UCF? Here's Rosa. Players going forward, looking for Dorado. He's trying to find it through. Battled for in midfield, won back by UCF.
Well, a couple of sequences before, Rosa was consistently going up towards Barry on the left-hand side. This time trying to get Dorado, trying to be a little bit more direct to penetrate this high back line. But good defending by the Bulls.
You've seen a lot of these games against UCF. The way the opposition has been playing is they've allowed a lot of opportunities down the wings, but they've really congested that midfield because they don't want these individual players for UCF to be able to beat them. If they can defend as a unit, then most of these teams, they feel like they're able to beat this UCF team.
I think they're also looking at the attacking presence in the box as well. Dorado being such a good player with the ball at his feet. He's not so strong in the air and not so physical. So they're allowing them to cross the ball and allowing the center backs just to team up against him and defend.
So we have our first substitution of the game. Trey Jackson will come out, and J.T. Cooper, the winger out of Berkeley Prep, will come in. Looked like Victor Claudel was ready to come off himself. He thought he was the one being substituted. He came out giving a high five to Cooper. He's right back into the midfield of play.
The match number 20, J.T. Cooper, replacing number 17, Trey Jackson.
Cooper, another one of those freshmen. Here's Claudel back with it.
Talk about different styles of center forwards. Rosano, who got the goal, that big center forward who can hold up the ball and so good in the air as well.
Murphy again with the ball over top. Send it Dorado flying off the turf. And there's another great move. Challenge from behind by Claudel. And once again, Villalobos on the opposite end of things.
Well, once upon a time, that would have been a great tackle in soccer, but the game has changed. And good tracking back. Here's UCF.
Great job by Gino Vivi with that scoop turn.
Yes.
And then the diving challenge by Victor Claudel ends up earning the free kick for UCF. Again, trying to thread that ball through for Ata Berry, and it's intercepted right at the last. So Odell just touches it off for Hernandez. UCF will reset. Just over 10 minutes here left in this first half. 1-0 to the visiting South Florida Bulls. It was Oscar Ressano with the early opener. So UCF has been the more dangerous team since then, but have yet to find the back of the net and still trail here at home.
Well, it's one thing to have quality to come through the pitch, but in that last third, converting chances, that's where the money is made. Scoring goals, goals win matches, as we all know. And it's the hardest thing to do in soccer.
See, with this UCF back line, they're just struggling to figure out where they want to go with the ball. Ata Berry has come up into the midfield to try and help out, and that's a dangerous turnover. Now, can UCF defend this counterattack by USF? Ball for Claudel. Swung back, Monge lets it ride, takes it all the way back in the midfield. USF not really pressing the issue and trying to score here. They're playing methodically, trying to work it around and get the better chance, not just the good chance. As I say that, they turn the ball over. Into the midfield from Mauricio Villalobos, who's stepped in. Ball over top, looking for Dorado. Berry challenging, forces the ball to go out of play.
The problem with Villalobos playing so deep, he comes in line with Sorokin, and then it leaves Lizinus by himself in that advanced part of the midfield, leaving no presence for the UCF.
Here's Villalobos now into the attack. He'll play it through for Dorado. He takes the left-footed shot. It's blocked and comes back out. Shot from distance is going to be handled by Takase quite handily.
Well, good ball through the middle again. Dorado on the end. Here comes the replay. And it was Sorokin's curled effort at the end, easily taken by Takase.
Well, ball's out of play back for UCF. And Dorado getting into some good position off of Mauricio Villalobos. Villalobos with 3 defenders around him managed to find Dorado on that pass.
The type of skill that UCF and other teams, like you mentioned before, Sten, are so concerned about, having that ability to pick you apart in the middle of the field with someone like Villalobos. So much attention is paid in the middle of the field to congest it and allow space down the wings.
And there are games like this, it's where UCF really misses a guy like Cal Jennings. I know we talked about him a multitude of times in the last broadcast, since he was one of the best collegiate soccer players. So we'll get back to him in just a second. UCF with the chance. Dorado takes the shot, and it's right at Takase. But with a guy like Cal Jennings, I mean, Coach Butehorn talked about him. He said he was a luxury in college soccer. And you see he was doing well in the pros in USL Championship. He was drafted in the MLS Super Draft, wasn't signed by the team he was drafted by, but he was still producing, and he's a goal scorer. He was a guy for UCF that you could rely on him to get the goal that when you needed him to be. You know, he was a goal scorer extraordinaire. And right now with UCF, they're just trying to find opportunities. As here, Gino Vivi, speaking of opportunities, ball's going to be knocked back. Good job playing out of the back here for USF.
That was a goal-saving tackle by Marcus Murphy, the number 19, coming across and blocking Vivi. Talk about this USF team being such a disciplined outfit in this back four so far in this first half. Completely sort of different mannerism from this Bulls team as compared to last week against SMU. They've gotten that goal, they've changed their mindset, the confidence has sort of come back, and now they're just being a lot more comfortable. And like you talked, Austin, UCF not so willing to press that high up the field as yet.
Be saving for the second half, trying to be a bit more methodical about this game plan. So with only 6 minutes left in this first half, we'll see what UCF can do before the halftime break. So Odell plays it through for Barry, who's coming centrally.
That's a great pass by Odell.
Meanwhile, Barry plays it a little bit behind for Mauricio Villalobos. He plays it through, and great interchange of play here for UCF. Villalobos stepping in, and Avion Flanagan dives into Mauricio Villalobos. Clock stops, and I believe we will have yet another yellow card for the Bulls, as Avion Flanagan, in his last collegiate game, goes into the books.
Well, Villalobos is turning it on. He took this ball from so deep. Here it is again. He's in full stride, and Flanagan comes flying in and flattens him and earns himself a yellow card before he jumps on a plane and heads to Cincinnati.
But Flanagan, you wonder, studs exposed a little bit. Maybe if VAR was a thing in college soccer, maybe it would be called a red upon review. But of course, there is no VAR here in collegiate soccer.
But I have to say, the number 20 for the Knights, Villalobos, is playing with full confidence now and a real threat.
Another sub getting ready to come in after this free kick. Gino Vivi lofts it into the box. Sorokin heads it up, headed away. Still danger for UCF here. Anderson Rosa steps forward, lofts the ball, back post. 2 USF defenders, Flanagan included, able to get to it, but UCF maintaining possession, knocks it out, and it will be a throw, not a corner, as it managed to miss going off the end line.
Yellow card has been issued to the Bulls, number 27, Avion Flanagan. This is his first of the match.
We have a stoppage in play here. I believe we'll have our substitute maybe coming in. No, it looks like they haven't waved him on yet, so we'll continue to play on. So UCF with a throw right near the corner flag. Sorokin now with it. Chipped over top. Here's Caleb Frankie getting into the 18. He goes down, and the ref calls for a corner. Nothing given on the penalty side. Not sure if there was enough contact there to warrant a penalty, though.
Well, the defense should always get the benefit of the doubt, and I think the referee did that there. Frankie just being that aggressive fullback. Here he comes, takes his man off, gets past Flanagan. Flanagan shoulder to shoulder, and in the end, looks like the referee got it right.
Very close, a lot closer than I originally thought on first inspection. Meanwhile, ball into the box, punched away by Takase, and that's going to be over the bar.
Well, the amount of chances the UCF are piling up. Look at the corner kicks, 3-1. And it's about to be 4-1.
So it was Lizinus on the far side, now on the near side. It's back with Gino Vivi. It's another chance for UCF. Fourth corner of the game, into the box, headed away. Atabu Berry touches it down, and it's intercepted. Flanagan goes down, nothing called. Vivi back with it. Here is Gino Vivi. Loads up the cross, looking back post again. It's going to come for Lizinus. He one-times it, and it's an amazing save by Kazuna Takase again. What a performance by the goalkeeper so far this half.
Great save, great shot by Lizinus. What a sequence of soccer this was between the Knights and the Bulls.
The seventh shot for UCF, another save for Kazuna Takase. Excellent, excellent save. Lizinus with a great chance again. Here's another one for UCF. Dorado strikes, but it's going to be a foul on UCF.
Didn't think I saw that one, Austin. Looks like the referee saw something we didn't see. Fouls now 4-3, UCF.
We talk about that save from Takase. How about that strike from Andrew Lizinus? Top of the box, one-time volley.
Talk about freshmen stepping up, even for the Knights as well. Lizinus got all his laces on it. And the Japanese Takasa, great save.
Takase will boot this one into the cool Orlando Knight. Atabu Berry now on the far side. Him and Gino Vivi have switched sides, maybe to try and get Vivi opportunity to cut inside a little bit more. So you see that oftentimes where both of these attacking wingers will switch sides to try and get a bit of a different look offensively.
It also to provide service for Dorado, rather than balls in the air being crossed, cutting inside, you can put a through ball through to your number 9 to run in on goal. So Coach Calabrese is definitely trying to change the angles.
Rosak goes up into headed. Claudel able to manage with it. Good job by Rossano to keep possession, at least for the moment, as Gino Vivi will let it out of play, and it will be a UCF throw after a quick second of deliberation between the referees. We're under 2 minutes to go here in this first half. USF still leading 1-0. However, UCF has created the majority of chances throughout this first 45 minutes. Just nothing finding the back of the net and nothing finding past Kazuna Takase in goal. Quite a far cry from allowing 7 goals in his last outing. But again, different circumstances, down a man. But he is the guy. He is the only guy, and he is playing incredibly well for this Bulls side.
Well, he has answered the bell for Coach Buton. If there were any questions before, there's none now.
Back here for Anderson Rosa. Great little back heel. Gino Vivi into the box. Can he get the shot away? He can. It's popped up in the air and grabbed by Takase.
Well, good interchange. We talk about the righty being on the left. Vivi on this left-hand side, probing. But good disciplined defending by the Bulls.
1 minute, less than 1 minute remaining in the first half.
We're under a minute to go here in this first half. Sorokin able to get it to Villalobos. Mauricio able to ride the challenge, get it out for Berry on the far side. Plays it off for Frankie. Can UCF create one more opportunity before the halftime whistle? Players stepping forward. Hernandez out wide. Vivi stepping into the midfield. Sorokin over top looking for Dorado. It's headed away just at the last moment by Mazzaferro.
Oh, we know what Sorokin can do with those passes. Tries another one, but good defending by the Bulls again.
Ball manages to stay in bounds thanks to Caleb Frankie, but a foul is called right at midfield, and that will probably do it for this first half.
4, 3.
Ball goes back to Takase, the hero for USF so far. And the South Florida Bulls head into the halftime break up 1-0 over top-ranked UCF. What a performance.
Well, Austin, before this game, we didn't think they'd have a shot. Just going back to the replay, a beautiful ball by Galina. The ball pops up and it lands for Rosano. The big number 11 turns and puts it away.
And we'll be back here with the second, the alternate official. Alex DeRostang, a veteran of Orlando soccer. He's been around basically everything from youth leagues to pros. We're underway for the second half. Ball floated up in the air. So we see now a substitute, Segun Afolabi, who was waiting for about 10 minutes on the sideline waiting to come in, is finally into the game.
I think he has to warm up again, Austin.
He is going to be playing up front. I believe he came in for Victor Claudel. Actually, Claudel has moved a little bit further back. Trying to figure out who he actually ended up coming in for.
Looks like Rosano is not in the lineup right now after a great first half performance.
That would be, it is.
Need to sit down, people.
All right. USF on the attack.
People, sit down, please. Thank you.
Ball into the box is going to be knocked away. W. Berry helping out defensively. Mauricio Villalobos, a bit trapped, will walk it back. Caleb Frankie now plays the 1-2. W. Berry for Dorado. Dorado holds it back instead and will play the safe game for Mauricio Villalobos.
Well, fancy footwork by Dorado gives a chance for UCF to reset and move this ball up the field. And good job by USF, the Bulls, making sure there was no counter-attack, no easy chances, no breakaways.
Anderson Rosa trying to run that one down. Stays in play. Quick play by Masafero. Booted down into the midfield. Intercepted by UCF. Here is Yoni Sorokin. Edrach now off for Caleb Frankie with the nifty back heel if it could only have gotten to W. Berry. Pressure from the UCF front line. Able to at least force a tough ball over top, but USF able to handle it fairly well.
In the first half, UCF did not pressure the ball much, very high. Let's see what they do in the second half here. We're seeing the forwards thinking about it. Also, looks like Coach Calabrese has stuck to the plan of putting the lefty on the right with Barry on the right wing.
I think he's seen a lot more with the wingers being able to cut in rather than trying to thread crosses into the box. That's been kind of a theme here for UCF as the season has gone along. Barry now plays it off. Vivi is cut inside. Barry tries the cross, knocked out by Flanagan, and it will be a corner for UCF.
We see Gino Vivi not just being stuck out on one wing. He's coming on the insides now, floating around, just trying to be dangerous and be the guy to instigate in the last third.
UCF corner kick will be taken by number 19, Andrew.
So Andrew Lizinus. He'll put this one into the box. It's loose, still loose. Flanagan able to pop it away.
What a delivery by Lizinus.
Just seemed like nobody was there to meet it, though. It fell literally to nobody.
But just great whip and direction.
W. Berry crosses, no one there to meet it, and it's a bit weakened by the wind. Kazuna Takase able to handle.
Definitely seeing the forwards push up a little bit higher now. UCF pressing, not giving USF that much room to play out as they did in the first half.
Now back with Afolabi up front. Plays it forward. Shot is going to be deflected as it was Enrique Gallina who came forward. Now South Florida.
Well, one of the problems of pushing high up, when you break that line, there's a lot of room behind there. And Afolabi found that room and almost created a chance.
First couple minutes of action for Afolabi.
The South Florida corner kick will be taken by number 27,
Another
Avion
freshman
Flanagan.
forward. Comes from Austell, Georgia. Avion Flanagan will take this corner for USF. Once again, Flanagan, this is his last 40 and change minutes of college soccer as headed by Brian Schaefer, the big man in the midfield. And Yannick Odell, I'm not sure what just happened. He just kind of pushed Josue Monje down. A bit of a forearm shiver as he was in the way, and nothing was called. I'm more surprised at that.
I mean, all we need is a pair of boxing gloves and a bell ring, and we have a whole new match on our hands, Austin.
It is a rivalry game. You kind of expect it to get a bit more contentious as it goes along, especially with the visitors winning 1-0.
Looks like the referee's playing along as well. He's like, let's go for it.
And the referee kind of sets the tone of the game of how he calls it and how fouls are called. So if he lets these guys get a bit more physical, then
all bets are off.
This becomes a true rivalry game, I suppose. Here's Sal Mazzaferro. Given the space and time by the UCF front line, Flanagan now. Swung back across by Claudel.
Schaefer's done such a good job in front of that defensive line tonight. He shows he's a problem on set pieces and just been so calm in directing the play.
Jacksonville Armada Academy will be proud. Ball long over top. Claudel underneath. He'll hold up play. Gets it back. Hesselmeyer now. Back into the midfield. Murphy back for Hesselmeyer again. Flanagan back for Hesselmeyer. Product of Timber Creek High School.
Still seeing a bit of comfort from UCF sitting back and allowing UCF a lot of room to play.
Turnover here, Dorado now. Continuing riding the challenge from Flanagan. He'll pull it back. And it's going to go out of play, still with UCF.
Well, a bit of untidy play by Dorado, but in the end, getting that throw in. Just interested to see how UCF begin this second half here, trying to find that intensity again that Coach Calabrese preached about. Again, a lot of credit goes to the Bulls for sticking to a game plan and stopping the Knights dead in their tracks.
Caleb Frankie with a bit of a hard touch, still maintains possession for the Knights. One thing that I wanted to mention here, kind of a rarity in college soccer these days, no subs for UCF through the first half.
That is a rarity. Whether Coach Calabrese has a lot of confidence in this starting 11.
Anderson Rosa with a great turnover here. UCF into the box. It's still loose, but cleared away by Brian Schaefer, who had great positioning on that ball.
Looks like Liziness is the one who came through the middle, and again Schaefer just showing that defensive prowess.
Back to the substitutions. You wonder to see if Coach Calabrese is waiting on something. He just kind of wants his players to develop some chemistry that are on the field.
I think we talked about at the beginning of the game, they're trying to find their identity. And I think sticking with this 11, he's certainly trying to enforce that.
I think that's a common theme with every team in this conference. Is ball into the box here. The cross and the shot is going to be parried away by Kazuna Takase again.
Well, the MVP of the season so far, Gino Vivi, making inroads in another defense, and Takase with another fine save. Here's Vivi on the left-hand side, gets past one, raises his head and just sort of side foots it, and Takase with an excellent save.
Just a palm on it, but that's all he needed to parry it away from goal. Here's Liziness into the box, grabbed by Takase again. Commanding his box is Takase.
His confidence is, I believe they would say his confidence bucket is flowing over.
And that one a bit scuppered. But it works out somehow for USF. Monhe now plays it forward into Afalabi. It's going to be blocked away by Hernandez.
Great
So
defending
another
by
corner
Hernandez.
coming for USF.
Excellent one-on-one defending by Hernandez. Not digging in, not giving away. Here's Monhe threading the ball to Afalabi. And look at Hernandez. Puts his hand behind his back, does not stick his foot in, and just blocks across.
So Victor Claudel will put this one in. If you notice with Afalabi, he may not be the fastest player up top, but he's a big body and can definitely work possibly something on this corner. Claudel, or excuse me, it's another goal for USF. Enrique Gallina, another set-piece goal as the Bulls have taken a commanding 2-0 lead against UCF.
Well, set pieces has been the way for all night for the Bulls. And another set piece, another goal. And there are many ways to score goals, Austin. And USF are showing this is another way. Here's Claudel in swinger. And look at the whip on it. And right there, Galina, the Brazilian, flicks it into the last post. And just like that, 2-0 Bulls.
Well, this is some uncharted territory for this UCF team.
We thought COVID-19 was uncharted territory.
2021, where anything can happen, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, first sub of the game for UCF. Now that they are down 2-0, they have taken out Lucas Dorado, and they have brought in Jonas Schmalbach.
Well, that was one of the questions I wanted to find out. When would you bring in the big Italian? And looks like it took a second goal for Calabrese to give him the nod.
There's a foul committed by Afalabi.
But we saw game management in the first half, Austin. Talk about game management now. 2 goals up. Things just got a lot harder for the Knights.
I mean, at this point, USF can just kind of sit back and defend for the next 30 minutes.
Replacing number 22, Luca Dorado.
We'll see how UCF can respond. Do they start pushing more numbers forward? Schmalbach pressuring. There is the big body Afalabi.
Afalabi, great control and balance.
Here's Plaudel now. Runners overlapping. Here's Flanagan. Flanagan crosses in, parried away by Odell. Again, Afalabi, he's saved by Odell. Follow-up, saved by Odell again. He drops the ball, but maintains it. Yannick Odell with his first true save of the evening.
Well, if you want to see Yannick Odell at his best, here it is. Here's the first shot. Here comes number 2. And here comes number 3. And just palms it down. That's why he's looking for his 3rd successive Goalkeeper of the Year award.
Here's Gino Vivi, stepped in and stolen away by Avion Flanagan. And as we talk about the great saves by Yannick Odell, you got to ask questions about the UCF defense there, trying to close down those shots. They kind of just stood and ball watched a little bit. Here's Josue Monje now.
Just goes back to the intensity question we were talking about before. Players just...
You see, I mean, Monje isn't really being pressured. He's in the attacking third of UCF. And there's really just passive pressure from the Knights defense.
You could just see the heads dropping and the lack of energy right now.
When you go down 1-0 to your rivals, it's a bit of a punch in the gut. This one is a punch in the teeth. 2-0 down to USF in your home venue.
The good news for the Knights is 33 minutes. But the problem is, where do you find that energy? Where do you find that belief that you can get back into the game? And it starts one play at a time, one sequence at a time.
And every save that Kazuna Takase has had drains that energy just a little bit more.
You know, you can't control form. Sometimes you can't control when the goals go in, but you can't control your energy. And that's something that the Knights need desperately right now.
Chipped away. Here's Gino Vivi now on the near side. Defender closing in is Flanagan. He'll play it back. Chip forward. Here's Caleb Frankie into the box. He's taken down. And it looks like nothing is given. And we will have a goal kick.
Well, either it's supposed to be a corner kick or a penalty kick. If the defender did not get piece of the ball, that means he's got all of Frankie. Here's the replay.
It's a great ball by Villalobos into the box.
And the defender got no piece of the ball. And it looks like they've gotten all of Frankie.
Mazzaferro now down, cramping a little bit in his left leg. It was hard to see if there was any piece of the ball, if there was intent to play the ball.
I think there was intent to play the ball, but Frankie did a great job putting his body between him and the player. And as a result, the defender hit the attacker.
Mazzaferro up and limping a little bit. Let's take another quick look here.
There's Frankie turning his body, and looks like the defender got the attacker. And
came in from behind. Ball actually didn't change any direction as Mazzaferro was coming in. And they're going to call it last off Caleb Frankie, so it will be a goal kick for USF. But that's the second time that Caleb Frankie has gone down in this game with a good shout for a penalty. The last one maybe not as clear cut. This one a little bit more.
Just showing what a weapon he is coming forward. But I have to say the Bulls have done a good job earning their luck tonight.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, as the saying goes. But USF has a little bit of both on this night. But UCF, this is their home turf. This is a rivalry that they have dominated for the last few years. And again, it is a very strange year that we are playing in right now. This is where you want to see from your team, if you're Coach Calabrese, how do you respond to this level of adversity? This is where you learn the most about your team and how they respond being down 2-0. A situation that, frankly, this team has not really been in very often.
Well, like you said, this is where they find their identity. Where do you find gaps? Who's willing to step up in the last third and create a chance?
Ball over the top, just over top of Schmalbach.
They're not going to get back a 2-goal lead with one pass. I think it has to come through build-up and it has to come through movement. That's when they look the most effective, at the end of the first half and at the beginning of the second half.
In that game against Tulane, we saw UCF kind of go into a bit of a 3-back, trying to push numbers forward. Instead of just having the 4-back line, they pushed numbers forward, really even pushed their center backs into the midfield to try and initiate some of the offense. And to this point, we haven't seen that from UCF. They've kind of maintained the similar shape that they've had to start the game, except for Gino Vivi and Not.W. Barry switching sides. Is now Gino Vivi's shot. See if that took a deflection. It did not. And it'll be over top for a goal kick. Another substitution here for USF. It'll be Richard Laval who will come in. I believe Donovan Hesselmeyer, the freshman, will come out.
Richard Laval from Madrid, the Atletico side, if anybody's asking the question. You know, just in Coach Calabrese defense, they did create 10 shots on goal for the first half. So you don't want to change the entire book of soccer in the 15 minutes at halftime.
But now that you're down 2-0,
no,
kind of forces the issue a little bit more.
Again, another set-piece goal that really hurt them. But yeah, I think you created most chances coming through the middle like this. This is where it all comes together.
Almost for UCF, as unfortunately Jonas Schmalbach unable to connect that final pass. Now foul in the midfield, and it'll be back for South Florida. 2-0 thanks to a second half goal by Enrique Gallina and a first half goal by Oscar Rosano. That tells the story thus far on the scoreboard. But UCF has had the majority of chances, but Kazuna Takase in goal has been able to keep them out and keep this scoreline clean thus far.
Now, this is where it has to start for the UCF. This pressure right here, Austin. This is where you can get an easy goal from a counter press.
Again, there's just one step too short right now for this press, as Gino Vivi sent flying by Flanagan. Claudel back for Flanagan now. Mazzaferro just plays it back for Takase. Chipped over top into the midfield, intercepted. Here's Sorokin. Sorokin is taken out, and it'll be a free kick coming for UCF. Mazzaferro was the one to commit the foul.
We just look at the challenge by Mazzaferro. Just a totally different type of intensity in the tackle, in the challenge. And it symbolizes the play of the game so far.
7 fouls between the two teams. Just it seems that UCF is almost lacking a little bit of urgency at this point. They're playing methodically, but again, they're just passing it around, trying to find the best pass. But to this point, if they're not getting any opportunities, it's going to come down to the last like 10 minutes or so before they even start thinking about it. You know, if you're the coach here, do you start trying to press the issue a bit more to try and get back into the game?
No, I think the speed of play in the last third just has to be quicker. Like we talked about, they did create chances before in the first half. I think switching the sides from left to right in a in a quick manner does create space along the sides, along the wings to get behind.
Ball headed up. Flanagan. Now Claudel. And it's going to be a foul. Caleb Frankie looks like he took a bit of an elbow to the head.
Victor Claudel was trying to screen the ball, but the elbow was just a little too high. And Caleb Frankie got the worst of it.
UCF will have a substitute coming on in just a moment, but in the meantime, UCF will have a free kick. Gino Vivi and Andres Hernandez standing over it.
It's one of those free kicks where you want to see Hernandez with the left foot put the ball right into the trajectory of Takase and have someone just get in front of it.
Vivi steps over. Hernandez whips it in, headed up and away. Hernandez chasing after it. Now UCF has to get back with USF trying to counter. Played through, and Hernandez commits the foul to disrupt the attack. Looks like Josue Monje on the ground to this point. Hernandez or Vivi, I believe, got the yellow card. Take another look at this one.
Looks like a frustration foul as Monje and Vivi just lays into him. Something you'll see on the NFL Sunday Ticket.
So we'll call that a professional foul, stopping the counterattack.
Yes.
It looks like Monje is roughed up a bit. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him. As Hernandez is the one to go into the books. Take another look at that free kick from UCF.
Hernandez right into Takase's line of sight, and great defending by the forward Afolabi. And good coaching too. You always bring your center forward back to defend those set pieces. They're usually one of the best headers of the ball. And Afolabi did the job.
Second yellow card for UCF. Yoni Sorokin early on in that first half went into the books.
On here, true number 10, always playing behind the forward. Got that goal against Temple in the first game. He's also a senior and such a leader on the field for this Bulls team.
It's one of the players that Bob Buthorn talked about. One of the guys that he looks towards be the leader into the attack, but also a very good player in defense. As here he is, Monje now into the box, and a tangled mass of legs ends up Yidrach being fouled.
Again, great one-on-one defending by this Knights team. Yidrach reading the play, reading the fake, and picking the right direction.
All back into play, and a costly turnover here. Afolabi back with it now for USF. Can they get a third? Back, and it's going to be cleared away. Claudel unable to get his foot behind that shot. It's now UCF. With numbers going forward, they end up just going back and resetting from the back line again.
Well, Utel, the keeper, is begging for the ball because he wants to get this play moving.
Yannick Odell is always one of those guys that just wants to go quick. He doesn't hold the ball up very well, or very often, shall I say. He holds the ball up well. But as soon as he gets it, he's distributing. He's trying to create attacks. And that's one of the things you like to see in a goalkeeper, especially in the modern age, is a goalkeeper that wants to get into the attack and affect the play going forward. As now we will have a substitution as Atabuberi comes off. And now in steps, it looks like Ariel Hadar from Ra'anana in Israel, or Israel, excuse me. Member of the U21 Israeli international team. Played a little bit in that game against Temple. We will see how the freshman will handle things here.
South Florida substitution. Back in the match for the Bulls, number 11, Oscar Rosano.
So here's Gino Vivi, now on the near side. He'll pull it back. Frankie, back for Beto Yidrach. In for Sorokin. As Yoni has his pocket picked, here comes Josue Monje, 3-on-2. Now 3-on-3. Pulled back off the crossbar. Follow-up is going to be saved and parried away by Yannick Odell. And UCF counting their lucky stars, they didn't concede a third.
Wow.
UCF substitution.
All started with Monet picking the pocket of Sorokin, and off to the races they went.
And back the other way now as Kazuna Takase able to put his body on the line and clear that ball away. Let's take a look at that other play where Yoni Sorokin pocket pick. You don't see that very often.
Look at the pass, though. Just lays it off beautifully. And here comes the shot.
Trey Jackson off the crossbar.
Right off the crossbar. Here's the follow-up, and look at another save by Uthel.
Again, questions being asked from this UCF team. Schmalbach challenging for Takase, but he is able to go up there and grab it.
Well, Takase not only did a great job on shots on goal, but the crosses as well from corner kicks and set pieces. He's just been excellent all night long. And the big Schmalbach, the number 9, contesting this time.
Speaking of number 9s, Claudel holding up play for USF. Now Flanagan on the near side. 22 minutes and change left to go in this game. UCF losing at home to USF. Ball popped in the air. Looks like a foul is going to be called. Andres Hernandez down on the far side. But he's able to get back up and handle the challenge well. Again, you want to see some urgency here coming from the Knights. The buildup of play has been a little bit lackluster. As now here's Schmalbach. He's going to line up the shot. He'll cross it back post instead. The shot is scuppered there and now cleared away by USF.
But the ball through the middle by Gino Vivi was majestic. And Schmalbach just had the shot and let the window of opportunity close.
That one's going to be cleared away out of play. Just seems that the tempo for UCF has dripped down a bit to this point. Here's Sorokin. Nobody was even paying attention to the ball. Sorokin crosses right into the hands of Kazuna Takase.
Well, here's that ball from Vivi, and there was the window of opportunity to shoot, and he let it go. Maybe a lack of confidence. Good ball to the last post. A missed kick. And the Bulls survived, but UCF had a great opportunity, first with Schmalbach, and again at the last post.
So now we have Enrique Gaina, or excuse me, that is Victor Claudel now down.
Come on, UCF! Their keeper's hurt.
He took another look at Kazuna Takase. What a game he has had. To come off of a game where you allow 7 goals to now keep one of the top 25 teams in the nation off the scoreboard with a majestic performance speaks volumes.
In a position where confidence is everything. So you just came in after getting the floodgates opened against you 7 days before, and then in a matter of 45 minutes, completely keep your team intact.
And you know, talking about confidence, you know, Bob Buthorn, it was an experience for him losing that game 7-0. But he told his players he has the ultimate confidence in him. You know, the 2 things that he has preached is patience and understanding. And that seems to have spoken volumes for this team heading into this match so far. It's Gino Vivi, great little succession of moves. And there's a bit of extracurricular activity between Flanagan and Vivi. It will be a corner kick coming for UCF. But again, Vivi doing a great job just driving forward into the offensive third.
Just a change of pace and direction. Here this comes straight through Flanagan, who's going to be a pro next season, folks. Here's Gino Vivi.
From Lysinus, punched down, and looks like it's going to be out of play. Goal kick. Not sure who it touched at the end of it. Massive bodies in there. But it looks like the referee says it was last out on UCF. So again, you look at Kazuna Takase, 9 saves, still holding on to that shutout. With 20 minutes and change to go. Another costly turnover in the midfield for UCF. Driving forward now. Into the box.
You know,
Monhe just plays it back.
There's a reason why the Bulls look so much more threatening now. They're just sort of playing coy and waiting for their moments to catch UCF on small counterattacks. And then there's so much space to play with in the last third. That's why it looks so much more dangerous.
Now a bit of pressure coming from UCF. Lizanis stepping forward. Driving forward now is Laval. He'll play it down the line. Running after it is Edrach. And he'll get it off for Odell now. Yannick Odell, pressure coming. He'll play it down. Flanagan just knocks it out of play right in front of his bench. And we'll have another substitution here for UCF. It's Lucas Dorado coming in. And Andrew Lizanis will come out. So a bit of a two-forward look for the Knights.
Excellent idea by Coach Calabrese. Really have a presence in the last third.
See how this changes the game here for UCF. And Ariel Hadar getting into a challenge. He seems to be asking the ref that he didn't do much, but he kind of stepped in and pulled back a little bit.
Just looking at the setup, it looks like Dorado has gone to the left wing.
Headed up by Edrach. Here's Frankie now. Down the line. Back for Edrach. Play it up into the midfield. Ball will run right back for Murphy. And UCF just allowing the back line for USF to take their time with the ball. Kind of wonder what they would do if they start pressuring the high line a little bit. But in the meantime, UCF in a bit of trouble here. That is blocked by Andres Hernandez's face, and he is down in some pain, as would just about anybody be.
That was brutal. It was like a right cross in a boxing fight. That was right on the cheek.
Put your body on the line for your teammates.
And it was a ripper of a shot by Jackson coming in on his left.
Take another look here. Like you said, Trey Jackson cutting inside between two UCF defenders, managing to get the shot off. And now Hernandez is going to be tended to by the training staff.
So we thought there was going to be a two-forward formation once Dorado came in, but it looks like Coach Calabrese is going to stick with the 4-3-3, with Dorado having that offensive personality on that left side. Really want to see him operate on that wing, see him come inside and get some shots off. And let's see how this Bulls defense sort of adjusts to him. It's going to be interesting in the next 10, 15 minutes. But so much is on the shoulders of Hader and Villalobos, who's not on the pitch right now, but Soderkin and Hader coming through that middle and trying to create some offense, not relying on Gino Vivi. There's Hernandez trying to shake it off, taking a 8-second count. Hopefully he knows it's Saturday.
So as we wait for Andres Hernandez to make his way back to the midfield line. You kind of just look at this USF team. They're brimming with confidence here throughout this game. As UCF has been pushing forward, they have pushed right back all the same.
Correct. They've been answering everything UCF has thrown at them, just congesting the middle and really making it hard for the number 9s to get free.
And it's interesting, earlier on you mentioned UCF trying to find their identity. Well, Coach Bob Buthorn said the exact same thing to me about his team. They're just trying to find their identity. Here's a ball over top. It's going to be hit away by Kazu Natakase. That's a confident goalkeeper, if I've ever seen one, coming right off his line, not sitting back and waiting, but taking the initiative instead.
And the touch was brilliant. It went straight to a Bulls midfielder, and all the pressure was gone. Takase continues to write another page in his book tonight. What a performance.
Andres Hernandez now back onto the field as he was receiving the last few seconds of treatment, making sure he was not concussed and is actually able to be back on the pitch. Meanwhile, Josue Monje now out wide for Trey Jackson. Bit of a 1-2 game between Jackson and Monje. It frees Josue Monje on the far side. Top of the box, Jackson fakes, shot right into the hands of Yannick Odell.
But look at the patience with Monje and Jackson, taking their time, finding a clear opportunity. In the end, gobbled up by Utel. Great goalkeeping awareness. Just blocking the angle. But yeah, just show the patience this Bulls team has now and the confidence they have in going forward. Not rushing anything, taking the time, picking the spots.
And they can afford to have that confidence with that 2-0 lead. It really kind of lends itself to trying different things and trying to be a bit more aggressive because you have that 2-goal cushion.
Well, like we saw in the Tulsa game, goals change matches and it changes the entire environment.
Oof. Ariel Hadar, unlucky there as the ball came right to his feet and deflected out. Great job by Gino Vivi, just trapping Sal Mazzaferro in the corner. But the ball's just not bouncing the way for UCF tonight. And unfortunately, some nights are just like that. That ball bounces kindly for the Knights. And we'll see what they do with it. Here's Yoni Sorokin, who I think for his typical game, he's been a bit off tonight.
I would say defensively and handling the ball as well.
He's had moments of brilliance, but I think overall, he would probably tell you that it's not his best performance so far for UCF throughout his tenure here. Good 1-2 touch here now. UCF trying to play through. Schmalbach intercepted on the far side. Now into the midfield. Here's Schaefer. Back and intercepted. Slow turning by Yoni Sorokin again, turning the ball over. It's about his third turnover in that situation. Now playing it back. JT Cooper. Intercepted now, Hadar. Sorokin just plays it back.
You can hear the crowd getting some angst, the UCF crowd.
Under 15 to go, and since the first half, they haven't had too many dangerous chances. Been few and far between.
Correct. Most of their chances did come in the last 10 minutes of that first half. It looks like the Bulls sort of made some adjustments in the second half. Became even more congested in the 18-yard box.
Ball back into the back line. Mazzaferro now swinging it back for Murphy. Driving through, cutting inside is Trey Jackson. We'll just play it off for Flanagan. Knocked down by Caleb Frankie. It was JT Cooper.
Well, if this score holds, what a sending off it will be for Avion Flanagan. There he is, Flanagan now, just trying to dink the ball through.
Tough challenge by Caleb Frankie on the freshman, JT Cooper. Now here is Cooper, trying to get past his defender. Well done by Idrach, holding it up. Monhe now, in for Schaefer. Schaefer trying to play it through. Instead it comes for Rossano, the goal scorer. Playing it back is Laval. Schaefer just lets it run back. His Flanagan will take it.
No, just looking at the defensive shape of UCF, it's been good all night. It's just that those 2 goals came from set pieces, which is the huge difference in this game so far. So Coach Calabrese is going to have to work on that in the midweek.
Mazzaferro looking, bit of pressure coming forward now for UCF. It's Villalobos pressuring the back line. Hadar coming away with the ball, now plays it out wide. Here's Gino Vivi. Flanagan, Vivi plays the early ball in, no one making the run, and Takase able to just wait on it. Now we have another USF player down as the clock will stop.
Well, just looking at that ball from Vivi, just a hint of desperation creeping in now. As Gaina lays on the ground, the Brazilian.
The other goal scorers for this USF side. And both goals coming off of set pieces, one a corner, one a free kick in the first half.
But going back to Vivi, we look at the patience we saw with Monhe and Jackson on in the corner just a sequence or 2 ago. Then we see Vivi on this right-hand side, just trying to create something out of nothing. A little bit of patience may help out with the midfield coming forward to support the play.
Looks like they're asking for a sub for Gaina too. Could be a cramp, could be Non-contact injury, but it looked like he just kind of went down during the play. Does look to be in a bit of discomfort here. Take another look at exactly what happened. As you see, just taking a sit down. He has played valiantly throughout this game, and maybe it's, again, it's early on in the season.
Yes.
Having said that, there's not much of a season, so you kind of have to go all or nothing at this point.
Yeah, it's such an awkward off-season too. Having been playing together, and the intensity of preseason matches have not been there. So they relied just on training amongst
like
the squad.
Groin for Gaina, just gingerly walking, not putting too much pressure on his right leg. Hope he will be okay. In the meantime, Freddie Hill will come in. Hill, the senior from West Palm, played left back against SMU. Flanagan played left back tonight, and most likely Gill will end up playing left back in their next game once Flanagan heads off for the pros. But in the meantime, Gino Vivi, nifty footwork there. Hadar trying to win the ball back. It'll be back for Villalobos now into the midfield. Here's Sorokin. Pressure coming from USF again, forcing UCF to go backwards. Hernandez. Here's Villalobos, picking his head up, looking for options. Gets it off for Vivi. He's got Caleb Frankie inside. Vivi back for Villalobos now. Sorokin. Have to play it back now for Hernandez. Now it's with Idrach. Sorokin into the pocket. Looking forward. Plays it off Villalobos. Trying to find runners going forward, and really nothing but green in front of him. Now it's turned over, going the opposite way.
Oh.
Great job by Josue Monje going past Beto Idrach. Oh. And again, but nothing called. Referee says play on.
Well, the referee got a good look at it and thought that Monje went down way too easy.
Well, UCF playing with a man advantage here with just over 10 minutes to go. Arya Hadar on the far side. Here's Dorado. Hadar cutting inside. Now with Dorado, he takes the shot, a slow roller for Kazu Natakase. Not really bothering the keeper too much.
Well, first chance for Dorado to actually try and get a shot from that left-hand side. As we see Kazu Natakase, 11 saves tonight, and the big 0 in the goals allowed.
Throughout the second half, not too much has challenged him. UCF just, they've gotten into the attacking third, but just haven't gotten good enough chances as they did in the first half compared now into when they really need it the most.
I think they kind of got away from their game plan, not allowing Lizinus, Villalobos to get in the middle of the field and create chances through that middle.
Flanagan, heavy challenge as JT Cooper takes out Caleb Frankie from his position, and take another quick look at that one.
He just went airborne for a second.
Tough challenge, but Caleb Frankie is a tough guy. He's able to walk it off.
Do we call him Caleb Air Frankie from now on?
I'm sure he'd appreciate that. Gino Vivi, Flanagan guarding him. Villalobos in for Vivi again. Vivi has it taken away. Hadar, and it's off of Flanagan for a corner. UCF, a set-piece opportunity here with under 10 to go.
Well, a desperate challenge by Flanagan in his last game as a Bull. He gets a corner.
You gotta think, not only is he playing for his last game, but his teammates are probably playing for him.
Correct.
Wanting to send him off with a win in this war on I-4.
Yep.
Here's the 9th corner for UCF into the box and cleared away by Trey Jackson. Now here's Rosa. Haven't called his name too much here in this second half. Again, UCF plays it back, and the groans and moans here from the crowd, wanting them to go forward, wanting them to try and get a goal back here. Popped up in the air. Back with UCF in the attacking third. Schmalbach. Back for Villalobos on the far side. Driving forward. Sorokin now. Chips it over top to the far side. Here's Dorado. Dorado holding up. Plays a great 1-2 into the box now. And it's going to be an own goal. Jonas Schmalbach right there to pressure the situation. But UCF had finally found the back of the net and finally beaten Kazuna Takase.
Well, we talk about goals change, wins matches. They also change matches as well. That's going to breed confidence into this UCF Knights team. Here's Dorado getting to the byline here. Stops, then goes. And the ball right across the mixer. Takase, no chance of getting it. And right into the shins of the defender. Seems to be the number 13.
He's just come on into the game, and Freddie Gill has scored a goal, but not for his own team. And now UCF has a lifeline with 7 minutes or 8 minutes and change to go. Now again, it's college soccer. If UCF can find the equalizer, we head to overtime, we head to golden goal situations, which UCF, they are very familiar with. Half of their games that they played last year went into overtime.
Well, I'm sure Coach Calabrese will be betting the house for that tonight.
So we'll see if this gives UCF a bit of confidence and a bit of want to go forward a bit more. They've got some time. All they need is a goal. Now that they've finally beaten the brick wall that is Kazuna Takase, can they do it a second time and pull this game back? Ariel Hadar trying to play with Gino Vivi, but Vivi holds on to the ball, manages to earn his team a throw as Hadar plays it in quickly for Frankie. As Caleb plays it back. Yidrach.
But
Hernandez.
The goal, Austin, did come from a slow build-up play, patience, allowing the midfield to come forward and support, not rushing the play.
It's almost like they lulled the defense to sleep a little bit, as here is Anderson Rosa. Crosses in, saved by Takase. Vivi waiting on the far post in case.
When the midfield comes into play, it creates options, and the defense has to wonder about all the options, which makes it a lot more unpredictable in the last third.
Booted into the night from Takase's goal. Now back with UCF. Dorado turns it over. It's a 3-on-2 break here for USF. On the far side is Cooper. Cooper one-on-one with his defender. Defender's closing in for UCF as it's back for Monhe now. Now USF will probably try and want to milk as much clock as they can.
Well, it's all up to the Knights now again to bring that intensity, find that fitness.
It's good pressure by Hadar, forcing the long ball over top. It's going to be taken down by Cooper. Cooper driving in, manages to play it back for Monhe. And you just want to see a bit more pressure. The times that UCF have pressured this back line, they have caused some turnovers and at least some long balls over top instead of just being able to play through the ground.
Nobody likes pressure, no matter what level of soccer you're playing, and in college soccer, no difference.
Here's a great ball over top. Gino Vivi, can he get there? He cannot. It's over and out of play. Again, good look by Joni Sorokin, just a bit too much. Avion Flanagan will take his time to throw it in. Boots it downfield, and that one will be a foul on UCF. I believe Caleb Frankie is called for it.
Frustrating foul, but the intensity is there, so I'm sure Coach Calabrese is not going to mind too much.
Take another look at this.
Flanagan just lofting it forward. Looks like Frankie just adjudged to push this player.
.555 officially on the game clock. We'll have a multitude of stoppages throughout the next couple minutes. Cooper tried to play a 1-2, and now UCF back with the ball. Can they do something with it? And they do not. They immediately turn it over. Quickly win it back is Villalobos, though.
Oh, great
Villalobos
touch.
holding up play, managing to keep possession for UCF.
It's players like him that need to remind the other players there is time on the clock. Take your time, get control of the ball, and create good chances.
Dorado battling in the midfield. He'll lose possession as Monhe now picking his head up, looking over top. Into the box now. The shot is going to be saved by Odell and immediately distributed as Yannick's quick movement here. It's Anderson Rosa now looking forward. Here is Gino Vivi. Numbers coming forward for UCF. Cuts inside as Gino Vivi. The shot, and just missing Ariel Hadar's run. Probably didn't mean to make it across, but it could have been if Hadar had been a step closer to get his head on the ball.
Well, great idea by Vivi, coming in on his left foot this time and looking for that shot. You see that 18-yard line? He sees it, he goes for it.
Just couldn't get the curl on it.
Just was past. Great effort by the number 7.
Meanwhile, within that break, Segun Afolabi has come back into the game.
South Florida substitution.
Oscar Rossano has come off, at least for the moment. 4:39 left to go in this one. UCF a lifeline thanks to an own goal by Freddie Gill. Actually, it looks like we'll have a couple seconds put on the clock. 4:43. Hernandez now playing it back for Idrach. Pressure coming from Afolabi. Just forcing UCF farther and farther back. Odell sends Afolabi the wrong way. And now UCF have a bit of space to move forward.
What a plus-savvy goalkeeper with that kind of confidence and footwork.
Ball lofted over top. Vivi cannot get there. Flanagan makes the last touch, but it will be a corner kick for UCF.
What a matchup. Best player for UCF and the best player for USF going head-to-head.
It's been a very fun matchup this evening so far.
Ball over the top. Here's Vivi.
Vivi will actually let this one go, and it will be Andres Hernandez to put the corner in. Numbers forward for UCF. Here's the ball into the box, headed up, top of the box. Cooper with it, and will clear it downfield. All the numbers forward for UCF as a quick distribution from Odell. Here's Hernandez. Ball here for Dorado. He can't get there, but it will be last touch off a USF defender. And now UCF another chance on the opposite side. Anderson Rosa will take an outswinging corner. The 11th corner kick for UCF. Could it be the equalizer? Ball into the box. It is loose, and it's out of play for a goal kick.
Wow. At this time of the game has a mind of its own. The ball ends up in the mix-up. Here it is. Outswinger by Rosa. And it drops right into the mix on the feet.
Jonas Schmalbach beside himself. Hand on head moment. He had it right in front of him. They just couldn't direct it on target.
What an opportunity.
2:40 left to go. Can UCF find some magic and pull back the equalizer? Or can USF finally defeat UCF? All down the line. Here is Gino Vivi. Ariel Hadar, the freshman. Early cross, top of the box, and Schmalbach can't control it. Hernandez taken down, play on. Dorado now for Rosa. Two Montverde products. Here is Hadar. The shot just over top and over the bar. Ariel Hadar, almost the hero for UCF.
Well, the freshman is playing with so much confidence. Tried the ball into Schmalbach a little while ago. This time the ball comes back to him. Villalobos, Hadar, and the ball just goes over the bar. Excellent effort.
One of their better chances here in this second half coming from the substitute. 30 shots between the two teams so far tonight. And with a minute and change left to go, can UCF find that equalizer? Could it be lucky number 20 that finds the back of the net? Or could Kazuna Takase, who's had the performance of his life, come away with a well-earned victory? Here is Gino Vivi battling against Flanagan, and Flanagan wins that battle once again. Vivi looking for options. Hadar comes in. Vivi cross into the box, and no one there to meet it. Flanagan clears it, at least for the moment. Yidrach, Sorokin. Swings it out wide for Rosa. Here is Anderson Rosa. Stepping forward. Tries to play the 1-2. Instead, it's just a 1 that's intercepted. Just back for Dorado now. 40 seconds.
Schmalbach begging for it here. The big number 9. Anything will do for him. Here it
Gotta
comes.
send numbers forward here. Schmalbach can't win that one, but UCF maintain possession. Dorado tries to turn, plays it out wide for Rosa. 25 seconds to go. UCF need to get something going. The shot parried away. Follow-up is going to be knocked out of play. UCF with the corner. 14 seconds. Clock is going. 10 seconds.
8, 7,
Cross into the box.
5,
Headed up in the air. Shot from Ariel Hadar is going to go out of play. And South Florida survived the onslaught late from UCF and win thanks to a massive performance from Kazuna Takase, goals from Oscar Rosano and Enrique Gaina. What a performance from this Bulls team.
What a story. Coming from 7-0 last week to this week, coming into UCF. Here's the last play of the game, a ripper of a shot. Takase, another save for tonight, his 12th of the game. And he is the MVP of a great performance. There he is, getting congratulations.
Well-deserved congratulations. We will come back and wrap up